up, everyone? Welcome to Tea Time with Liz and Friends. We are back for a bonus episode tonight. I am not going to be your host, neither are my friends, but first, say hello to the people for a moment.
Hello,
Hello
everybody.
everyone.
How is your Monday treating you today, huh?
Whew. Mine has been busy.
Okay.
Yes, nonstop. Actually, running here, running there, and just everywhere. So yeah, very busy Monday for me.
You started off the ground running. I love it. I love it. What
Yes.
about Joe, how's your Monday treating you?
It's been a Monday, a little dreary outside, so kind of trying to stay awake for the most part.
Listen, that is real. Like,
Yeah.
can somebody just give me a pillow and a blanket, okay?
Uh, I slept the day away, but I guess I had to work and pay some bills, huh?
Right? See, life be lifing out here, huh? But
Man.
no, thank you all for tuning in. This is a bonus episode tonight. We are excited for a returning guest who is going to take over. Listen, y'all, I'm serious. You're going to get your tea tonight, okay? We are so excited to have our special host, not guest, but host, Mr. Prescott Jones, join us tonight for the Takeover Tea Time with Liz and Friends. Let's welcome our host, Mr. Prescott. What's going on, sir?
How's everybody doing?
We're
All
doing
right. How are you, Prescott?
good.
I'm honored to be back here. This feels like a special moment. I had such a great time with you guys the first time, so I'm honored to be back and just around some great women of God at that. So yeah, but you guys,
I'm so happy. All right, y'all, tag your friends because we're getting started. Okay.
It's gonna be interesting. He got us a little nervous here, but
Yes, yes.
we gonna do what it do.
Look, if I'm gonna be twirling my hair, I'm just saying.
Tiana twirls when she's nervous. So
so so for the on the flyer it says this was the takeover. So that means I got full authority to ask the questions I would like to ask. And last time I'm answering a lot of questions, but I'm intrigued just to know you guys' perspective. These questions I feel like are great questions that if men watching, they're like, oh yeah, some good questions to ask them, but at the same time, women will take into consideration. Just think about. Not saying like these are things that need to happen, but just another way of thinking. So, for the first question, I would like to ask you guys is what what are the first things that like catch your attention if you guys was to see a man for the first time?
okay, who wants to go
And
first?
and I could popcorn it.
I, I see. You know what?
You want to go?
Grabs my attention. Their smile.
Let's smile.
I love a man with a great smile, and I'm just gonna put it out there with nice teeth.
Which is kind of hard to find nowadays, but
It is, but there's still some out there who have all their teeth, right?
yeah.
Well, we thank God for that.
Do we,
You know,
can we also say like why do we think those things catch our attention?
Oh, so you adding stuff now. So.
Right now he added stuff, right?
Well, come on, you better finish it up. Why?
Wait. Can I ask you a question? Are you guys the host? That's all. That's
No,
No, we're not.
excuse us. Excuse us.
We gotta dig deep tonight.
Yes.
This is tea time with Prescott and friends, I guess. Okay.
Go ahead, Connor. Tell them what you mean by all that, huh?
So one of the reasons a smile sometimes can mean you're friendly, you're down to earth, and you're welcoming. Some people who always frown is not as welcoming as someone who's smiling and just giving a little laughter. And the approach can be so much easier when someone is having a great day. And sometimes your smile represent how you're feeling at that moment.
Okay.
Yes. I'm gonna have to piggyback off of Kat. It's kind of half and half for me. It's the smile for me. And the reason why I say it's the smile is because there's a lot of men out here who feel like they have to be so tough looking and mean and thuggish and all that kind of stuff. And just when they smile, it's a melting mechanism, and it makes it feel like that I'm welcome to talk to them, or
Mhm.
that they have a sense of humor and they know how to be human, you
Yes.
know. And then the other thing is the eyes. Oh my God, I love the eyes. And I don't even really know why. It's not the color. A lot of people think that I'm talking about the color, but it's the shape and the clarity of it. And
Mm,
it's just,
love it.
I can get lost in somebody's eyes. So,
Oh my God.
yeah.
Hey,
Mm,
okay,
mm,
yeah.
mm. Okay, okay. The why? There's a saying that says the eyes are the windows of the soul.
Of the
Isn't
soul.
that
And
correct?
maybe that's it.
Windows.
Well,
Yes, maybe that's it.
Windows opened
next
up now.
question.
Liz, ain't no next question.
Liz, you ready to
Oh, oh Lord, what do I say? I like a classic man, like a man in a suit, like dressed up business attire, kind of like that's attractive. The cologne, the smell goods, like listen, you walk by me, mighty God, okay? I'm turning. Where are you?
We
Huh?
ain't gonna get on that.
Like that, no,
Where are you? Who are you? Huh?
Liz, I have a
that's
question.
true.
I have a question. So,
Okay.
and I'm not trying to pick on you. I'm just intrigued to know because I feel like you guys are also educated men and stuff like this. So it's good to know you guys' perspective because it'll make some people smile more, give a certain look and stuff like this. So if a man was to approach you, Liz, and he has a beautiful smile, physically exactly what you're looking for, but not wearing a suit and not smelling good, do you think that kind of draws your attention away because they don't have those things?
No, because I mean, really, it goes back to even what they said, the personality. I think if the man shows himself to be that domineering, that alpha male, and just making you feel comfortable, secure, but friendly, I think that is the most attractive thing. Yes, we want all these other things, but it's really the personality, in my eyes. Yeah.
Okay, okay. I like these answers so far. This is going to be a fun night. I like these answers so far.
Oh God, let me put my seatbelt on right quick.
Right. Buckle
So,
up, buckle up.
so next question.
Chris said not to be funky. Okay, listen.
Here go Dip. So when it comes to dating, what advice would you give a man as far as approaching you or dating you? What are the key things you think a man would need to know as far as when it comes to you?
Okay, I'm gonna need to start first because I just want to get this over with. Apologize. Okay. Well, being a woman of God, a minister, I need them to know that I take my walk with Christ very seriously. I take ministry very seriously, and it's not that I can't find the balance for this area of my life, but I need them to be able to complement that and understand, to have that capacity to be able to have conversations, because I need to be able to say what God told me to say today, and I don't want them to look at me crazy. I
Right.
need them to understand, there's a demonic force against me. I need them to understand these things. Um, so I think that's the biggest thing for me. Otherwise, I'm pretty open, but it's the spiritual side for me. So yeah.
I
One
like
thing I want to ask before you two answer, and because there's three powerful women that got us on this call. Um, and as far as ministry goes, is it hard to find a man that can understand and support a woman that have like large roles, whether you're preaching, singing, evangelizing? Because for somebody that's been in ministry, I truly understand, and I've seen a lot of women don't get appreciated or will kind of be taken. People take men being the head too seriously in the sense that they don't understand it's having the wisdom to understand when it's time for that person to lead and stuff like that. So do you guys think that um, it's hard to like find somebody to truly understand that? Because I feel like you can easily find somebody to understand the ministry part, but then in the sense of just the leadership aspect, do you think that's kind of can be tricky at times?
Definitely. Especially if they are headstrong, like, and like you said, a lot of men take the I'm the head of household stance way out of proportion. A lot of them who take that I'm the head of the household out of proportion don't really know what it means to be the head of the household. So they use it as a controlling mechanism, and they oh, I'm not going to say they. I have experienced it as far as them trying to use it as a control to try to keep me at a certain level. So I could only operate at a certain level because it looked like I was superseding, what he was doing or whatever. So yeah, that's hard.
I would I don't know. It's a mixture of both because
Mhm.
at first they're all supportive and they're like, "You got this, girl. You doing the thing," you know. But then after a while, it's like, okay, whatever. It's just another thing, you know. So I don't know. Like, I think it's different for every man, and I think the biggest point that I made was having the capacity. Mind you, I didn't say they had to be a pastor, a preacher, a minister themselves, but they have to have the capacity. And it goes back to what Joe said, you know, not being healed in some places, they will try to take over and try to make you feel less than. But if they have the capacity to connect with you and grow with you, they I don't think they will make you feel that way, and it won't be intimidated um, by that. But that's the question, Prescott. Where are they?
And then also there's another part that we as women need to play as well. We're not the priest of our homes when we're married, and he is the priest of our home. So what we need to know what that means and what part we play in our homes. Our you know I'm trying not to get too deep on this, but we need to come at a certain level. We don't need to be sitting there speaking in tongues by in the bedroom while we being
Okay.
intimate. You know what I mean? We need to, it's okay to listen to some romantic music while you with your spouse, or your significant other, to get in the mood. You don't have to be holier than thou all the time. And sometimes, if that's how you connected with that man, now you're married, and now you want to be holier than thou.
So
Yeah.
are we
And
talking about switching the roles? Because that's what you're saying. You're speaking on, Joe, right? Like our roles have to be switched when we're home and in the church. Is that what you're saying?
yes, yes,
Okay. So we have to be able to balance our
yep,
life out.
yep,
And if we're not able to balance our life out, it will offend the man because,
yep,
again,
That's
he is strong minded. And we always have to remember that a man, even though we are strong and independent, to me, letting your guard down is the most independent thing that you can ever do when you're dating a man, because a
yes,
man still
Ooh,
wants to feel wanted, right? So we
okay.
have to learn how to let go of that control and allow the man to take that lead as he should. And then we like, yep, there you go, daddy. But you know what I mean? So
Okay,
yes,
Tawana.
yes. But she's preaching though.
we gotta let our man be the man.
That's facts.
Yes,
That's
That's it.
facts. I agree with all of
That's
that.
that's what I'm talking about preaching. But and I appreciate you guys saying that because I feel like I've seen you three serve in your ministry, but with excellence. I think there's a difference when you serve in excellence because that means you have to put time into it. And I think there's a lot of relationships that the significant other don't understand the time aspect and to put into whatever it is. So I appreciate you guys answering that. And now the next question I want to ask you guys. Um, so we could be realistic in the things that we're attracted to, and we could be realistic with the things that we know we need in our life. But I truly believe that people have patterns of tend to like probably date or go after things that they're not used to, or that's toxic for them, or that's not good for them. Do you guys know of, or is there any traits that you guys know that attracts you but you guys would say it's just not good for you at all.
You said toxic traits?
Yes.
Yeah, I saw that question. And I just want to tell you that that question is toxic.
Can I tell you?
That is not a great
So,
question.
so, so let me explain why.
Okay.
Because the reason why I asked this question is because we tend to get in certain relationships and situations that's just not good for us. And a lot of times we do these things is because we date these toxic traits that pulls our attention. So sometimes we just gotta call it out and be like, you know what, that's not good for me. Like as much as it may turn me on, like I'm 0 for 6. So that's the reason why that question came, because we have to be realistic with the things that may attract us and the things that catches our attention, but it's not good for us. I stopped drinking pop last year. I love soda, loved it. Like I'll drink it like it's water, but ever since I stopped drinking it, everything's it's not good for me. So
But you know what? Okay, I see where you're coming from, and I honestly believe that it's a matter of that individual coming to that realization of what is good for them and what is not, what is healthy for them and what is not. They may not see that it's a pattern that they're getting themselves into over and over and over again, but once it's brought to their attention, or once they get the revelation, like what's going on, what am I doing that's, you know, allowing myself to get back into the same pattern. Once they see that, then it's up to that individual to stop and to break the pattern. They may not find it as attractive. This is just something that they try to do. I mean, that they're just used to doing. It may not be that they're attracted to that toxic trait. It's just a pattern that they're used to doing. And they may be scared to find something different, to try something new.
Well, let me say this,
Okay.
because I agree with you, but I agree to disagree, because we
Okay.
all find something attractive. Like, so okay, so I like nerds, right? I don't know why, but I love me a nerd from time to
Okay.
time. But there's that guy that's very attractive that I really like, and I'm gonna gravitate to that guy. I'm not gravitating to the guy that I'm kind of used to, because this guy is the toxic one that I'm drawn to, the one that ain't gonna do me no good, the one that's gonna have 50,000 women on the side. But hey, I like him because he hot, right? I like him nice and look nice and good, right? So I'm not ready for that nerd that I'm really attracted to until I begin to develop who I am. So sometimes I sway back and be like, I can't date you. Your eyebrow missing, your shoes look dirty. You find little things that you don't like about the person that you actually should like. But that one attractive guy, you kind of draw your attention to that individual before you'll look at what you actually need,
And
right?
right, you
And
have to
so
mature out of
um,
it.
I like this guy, but he's not good for me. But the only reason I'm able to identify he's not good for me is because now I'm in a different space in my life. So even though he's attractive, but I'm gonna have to turn away, because not him over there, because he gonna get me in some trouble, right? And so I gotta stay saved. I'm being real. Like, I gotta stay safe, so I can't go that way, because now I'm at a different level. So yeah, them traits are still real. They still there. They there.
here's,
For
here's,
me, they
here's
there.
here's the thing. I love both of you guys' answers, even though there's different. But let's be clear: neither of you guys answered my question. I want to know, what is that thing to y'all?
They didn't say it, did
Well,
they?
I just told you, man. I just
You said different types of a fine man that may not be good for you. We gotta dig deep, because there's a lot of fine men out there now.
Okay.
okay. So, well, let me say what my fine is. Even though I like the guy with the nice teeth, but I
Wait,
like me
wait,
a
wait,
nice,
wait.
tall,
We talking about fine,
athletic,
or we talking about toxic?
Either,
toxic. Those are
well,
toxic
well, no, no,
traits.
no, no.
Those are very
I'm
toxic.
saying what you said, but I'm talking about like a toxic trait.
Right, the toxic trait. The
Yeah.
toxic trait for me, now we talk, for me, is the tall, charming guy. That's a little toxic for me, okay? Because let me tell you, and the reason I'm saying that's toxic for me, because he's not he's not where I'm at.
Mhm.
And sometimes I get thrown off, and the idea of wanting a little bit more of that is what gets me in trouble. That's for me. So that's a trait for me. So sometimes I gotta close my eyes to certain things because that right there may get me in trouble.
Let me give you guys an example really quick.
I know what you said, Prescott.
No, 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 but
Yeah,
I
I
want
do.
I want Dr. Even too. I remember like growing up, like I remember like I don't think I was like this bachelor growing up or whatever, but I remember when once I started coming to my own, I remember I was talking to this person, and this person was like blowing up my phone and seeing like where I was at, where I was going, and then when I would ignore them, I noticed that I noticed they circled around my house one time without no permission or anything like that,
You're
right?
talking about psychos.
Like, listen, this is the cold part. There was something in me that got excited about that because like growing up wasn't nobody checking for me. Growing up, you know what I'm saying? Like I never had somebody that was intrigued and into me like that. So I got so excited just to see
Really?
somebody and think that they got out their bed and now they drove around just to make sure I was home and then went back home.
Really?
And after a while, I
Right.
still stayed with that person and still was talking to that person because it was something new, it was something fresh. As crazy as it was, I
Mm.
love the fact that somebody was, but it wasn't good for me at all. Like,
Okay, I'm ready to answer mine.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah, come on.
Go ahead, go ahead, because I don't got one of those. I got one. I don't got
I'm
one.
be slick, but I'm gonna be honest.
Go ahead, Liz. Go ahead.
My thing was just somebody paying me attention. They, if they would just pay me attention, they told me I did good things.
That's good.
That's what mattered to me. Minus, I mean, understanding the fact that my father was a preacher, my father is a pastor. He's not present all the time to tell me these things. So when a man comes in and tells me this stuff, I am literally attracted to that. Now, he
Mm.
can treat me like he wants to. He can lie to me. He can say all these matter of things. I mean, he could say, "Oh, sorry, I missed your call," knowing good and well we ain't talked all day, and I bypass it because I didn't know my worth. I didn't know that, I am well deserving of someone appreciating my time as much as I appreciate their time. And I don't need someone to tell me that I'm beautiful. Because it took me a long time, and I share this all the time on Tea Time.
Yeah.
It took me a long time to figure out that I was just beautiful. And I think those have to do with our, like he said, our personal inner healings that
Mm-hmm.
we did not deal with. I can honestly say the first time I married was for insecurity because this
Mm, that's
person
deep.
saw me beautiful, saw me in my insecurities places, and I thought I would never be able to catch anybody else. And so it's those things, yes.
Oh
And
wow, that's
okay,
good. That's now that's good. That's good.
No,
Okay, and
okay.
I
and
I can
I
roll with that.
feel on that.
I can
That's
feel that.
good.
I can feel that.
I unfortunately I was a little cocky myself. Let me just so I was like, nope, I don't like you. Mm-mm. Nope.
Somebody
You
said
don't
this
get
is
nope.
next.
Nope. Mm-mm. My mama said, my brother said, my daddy said. So I really wasn't the I wasn't looking for certain things. And when I didn't, so I don't have, I don't believe I have identified my toxic trait that I'm attracted to because I have not had it because I walk away faster. I say the toxic trait that I would say is I'm a runner. So I run before the guy will run. Or I'll be the toxic person because I'm gonna tell you what I'm not gonna do, what you gonna do, and what I'm not gonna deal with. So yeah, maybe that's I'm
Yeah,
not there yet.
but that's real. I don't think sometimes I think relationships it it shows us ourselves, but do we ever
Hmm.
really take the time to see ourselves? We jump into the next thing
Yeah.
and we tell the story, oh, they did me this, they did me that. We play the victim and we don't take the time to see ourselves. So that's real. I mean, I've been there.
Mhm. I think for me, actually, I know for me, it's a good mixture of both of what Kat and Liz just said. I know that it it stemmed from low self esteem and just taking anybody who showed me attention. And then once I learned how I wanted to be treated, I liked some of the traits that I would like the good traits. Oh, but they treated me this way, so I love this, but I hate that. So I tolerated
Tolerate it.
the negative things that most people would leave for. But because I loved how he talked to me. I love this connection, but he's so toxic in other areas. Like there's no shows, there's missing in action. I ain't heard from him in about a week or two because I was tolerating that. But I love this connection. I know he loves me, da da da. You know, I couldn't balance it, and it had to do with me. But because I learned that now that's something that I won't tolerate. But it took me to go through that to learn that. That's not something that I would tolerate now. I didn't find that attractive. It wasn't like I was chasing it, but it was the other stuff that what I was missing, what I didn't have in the past, from the past relationships that I was in. So I think like every round goes higher and higher. But it did stem from low self-esteem and not knowing my worth and just knowing um what you want in a relationship, because it's true what they say, you don't know what you truly want in a relationship when you're younger, because we all change as we get older. So what you think you like and want at the age of 21 is completely different at the age of 41. Even though I just told my age, so yeah.
Good, good. And I had this as a question, but I don't really expect you guys to answer this. I want, hopefully, like you guys can look into this later on, and even everybody that's watching, to understand your genealogy. Genealogy is it's like a family tree in history. You'd be surprised. You should ask. You should see. Okay, where my parents are. They married? Are they separated? Okay, what was the reason for it? And then now go to their parents and see, are they together? Whatever. You find patterns in things of generational curses or generational things that comes down to be aware of. Like it's as simple as like you you may be married and your child watching everything you do, and the next you just see them naturally doing things that you do because
Oh,
they
that's
were
facts.
around you.
Yeah,
That's facts.
So
that's so true.
so you have to, like, I encourage everybody, please go pay attention and go dig deep into your genealogy, and but you not only for the good things but for the negative traits that can get passed down, and be watchful of these things.
Right. Know your
Yeah,
history. Know your history.
yeah.
That's
I
right.
already knew that my dating pattern was from my mom's dating pattern. Not as bad, but I already knew where it came from. And then it hit home when my kids said, "Well, mom, you're just as bad as grandma." So, so I was like, "Well, whatever." But I already knew. It was just confirmation for them to say that to me. But
And that's funny because we were just, me and my aunt and my cousin was just talking about that earlier today. We were talking about how the women in our family are so strong, and they go after what they want. And our men are very strong, but they're so loving, and they have so much compassion, and they're there for their wives. And all the men in my family are married and or with their significant other, and they've been with them for years. But the women be like, look, I'll bust you upside your head, don't worry about what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna take care of this. But and
right.
so you got to know your patterns in your history, so you can know sometimes why you're not dating and why you're struggling in some areas. Like I said early, I'm a runner. I got it from my daddy. If I think you was gonna break up with me, I'll be like, no, I got this. Bye, boom, gotta go and be done with it. But that's just that was something I know because my daddy was a runner. So there you go. I picked it up.
Track star.
Okay, so I struggle with this a little bit because I look at my parents. They're both together. My mom's parents stayed together. My dad's parents were never together like that, or married, I should say. So, and I don't know, to be honest, we don't know a whole lot of my dad's side of the family history because of distance. But um, I grew up around a wife, and that's all I know.
Mhm.
And so and I think that's my struggle in dating. I don't know how to be a girlfriend. I know
Mm,
how to be a wife. I know
mm,
how to serve. I know how to pray. I know how to listen. I know how to have fun. I know how to speak life. I know how to be supportive. Those things. I have those characteristics, and so it's hard for me because those are not traits that I feel men are looking for, or it's overwhelming when they see those traits consistently.
That's good.
That's a good one. And I would say this, Liz, those are great traits to have
mhm.
because some women don't even know how to be a wife, but you have those traits already. So now you just have to separate the two, right? And dating, you just don't do everything a wife would do. But you have to realize what those things are that you're going to step back from and allow yourself to do when you're just dating in that process. Because you don't want to start, when you're dating, you don't want to show wifey all your wifey attributes, right? You don't want to show all those, right? The man get comfortable and then, no, we're not gonna do that. But no, that is great. I love your attributes. I love it because some people don't. Some people don't know how to be a
One
wife.
thing, one thing I love about you guys' answers so far is, and I don't know if you guys realize it, but you guys are literally like teaching people right now. You guys are really educating people just on life, and you guys have blocked a lot of attacks that can easily attack a person or things that person is about to go through. And the things that you guys are pouring in right now is really helping people kind of just bypass certain things that could happen to them. So these are really good answers. I'm loving this so far. Next question.
Uh-oh.
What do you guys bring to the table? What do you guys bring to the table?
Oh Lord.
I bring stability.
Go on,
I
girl.
bring I bring faith. I bring love. I bring myself. When I bring myself, I have God with me. I
Lord.
bring support.
Mm.
Um, yeah, I bring love, support, faith, and understanding. And I'm not a woman to be all up in your ear and I'm not that type of woman. Some women are, and I'm not knocking. That's what you do. That's what you do. But you know, I know a lot of men don't appreciate it. I have a different approach to that. So that's me. That's what I bring to the table.
Okay.
Go ahead, Liz.
You just go ahead and throw it.
She was just smiling real hard,
I don't want to be last. I was like, I don't want to do this. Oh goodness, what do I bring to the table? This is a hard question because you got to sell yourself, right? And that can be hard. Um, but I would say most of all, I have such a meek and kind heart. I'm very, I don't want to say passive, but I have a meekness about me, and I think sometimes that um, gets played on a little bit, but nevertheless, I will never lose that because it's the God in me that gave it to me. But I mean, I'm loving. Like I said, I love to have fun. I have a little bit of youthfulness. I am a competitor, so try it if you want to. But we're gonna go, okay? Whatever it is. um, but I'm just a real woman. Like I'm not like the rest. I always
come
say
on
that
now.
um
Come on.
I'm not into the fancier things of life now. They're nice. And yes, I do try to strive to treat myself every once in a while, but that's not my motive in life. My motive in life is to um, enjoy the things that you can't buy. And those are, moments and valuing wisdom, valuing moments with people, um, and those are the things that I thrive on. So I guess those are the things that I bring to the table, the old school ways.
Yeah.
And last but not least,
Well, look, I'm just gonna say I bring all that to the table. Just, yeah, yeah, they said it. No, I would say my loving and kindness, and being a people's problem solver. I bring problem solving to the table. Um, I'm not very domestic. I'm not gonna say I bring that to the table,
Thank
but
you, Jesus. Huh?
you know, I'm definitely not gonna say that. But I am very supportive. I'm very understanding, and I can be very objective. I'm not meek. I'm a little loud and I'm a little sassy, but sometimes you have to have those things, right? You gotta have them at the table. So I bring those things to the table. Um, but hardworking, like I said, hardworking, understanding, loving, um, very open, very open. But I bring I'm that prayer Rory. I'm gonna bring my prayers to the table. I am going to stand in the gap. I'll stand in the gap for you. I'm a change agent. I bring those things to the table. And yeah, that's what I bring to the table.
okay, some good answers. And like just also like you guys do have the authority. If you guys randomly have like some type of question you want me to answer, feel free to ask. Um, the next question I want to ask you guys is, what is your love language? And not only what is your love language, but like how does it like how do you want people to utilize it? Like, what are things that mean a lot to you in the sense of like serving your love language?
Well, I'll go first on this one. My top love language is quality time. I value time. And so if you take the time to call me, talk to me, text me, I value that. You take a weekend, if you take, a day, a dinner date, a lunch date, I value that. Once again, those are moments that you can't get back. Those are moments that you value, and you find the place to connect, right? So, and it actually stems once again, all the PKs out there, um, our children in ministry who have parents in ministry. I think, them spending so much time in the church house, which is part of the territory, but not taking that time to spend with their children sometimes, or the times that I mean, literally, it was in my teens before we took a family vacation with no church involved. It was either a conference or a convention or something of that nature. So um, that's kind of where it stemmed, I think, for me, why my love language is quality time. So, and I value that. So that's my top one. Then it's physical touch. Um, and then I think that's all you need to know from there.
I would say my love language. I love to buy gifts. I'm a giver. Um, I love to receive gifts and I love to give gifts. I think something about the ultimate surprise, not knowing that you're going to receive something, is really my love language. I just love a nice gift, and it can be the smallest thing. I would say, the smallest thing, and not it don't have to be extravagant or anything, but just a token. Like it can be a t-shirt that you wore yesterday and you want me to wear that t-shirt today, or something like that. I'm very romantic, so I love to exchange gifts. I'm a giver, and consistency. I love someone who's consistent, who's always available for to listen to me. Um, that means the world to me. If you can show me consistency.
For me, I'm balanced in all of them. I give and like to receive, words of affirmation. I like the physical touch and like to give physical touch. Acts of service. I like to do things for people and like to have things done for me. If anything, on the receiving end, I'm a little bit on the lower of act of service. I don't like people to do too much for me because it feels weird. But but I,
Why would you say it feels weird?
because I feel like I would owe them. You
Really?
know,
Ooh, that's
In the
good.
it's
past, did people ever try to make you feel like you owe them?
um no.
Okay.
I think I've experienced like other people try to ha- have it hang over other people's heads. Like I did this for you, I did that for you. So I never wanted to experience that. So I'm like, yeah, I'm good. you know, I don't never wanted to experience that. I don't know. This is weird,
No,
but I'm learning.
that's true.
I'm learning just to receive. And then receiving gifts, and I like to receive. I like to give. I like to give more than I like to receive, but I think that's
Mhm.
probably goes with the same as acts of service. But I think I'm pretty balanced in all.
Okay. So when it comes to dating, I know there's a lot that goes on in relationships, and there's people that's really private and keep it in house, but then there's people that kind of vent to their friends. Would you guys say more so you guys are the private, where it's like probably you, your significant other, and like a counselor, or do you guys also vent to you guys as friends, and to what extent as far as in a relationship?
I have a nice size circle of friends. And a lot of my friends I have been friends with for over 20 years plus. And what I have learned is each friend does not need to know everything. So
Mm.
even though we are a circle, I can't share everything with each person.
That's right.
So yes, there is one person who knows everything, but even I have to um tell her at a certain time. I can't go to her and be like, "Oh my god, he made me mad," and when I'm distraught and upset and crying because then I know what he do. She's gonna be like, "Okay, we about to go over there. We about to bust some windows." I'm getting her upset, and then once I calm down, then I'm like, "Oh, girl, it's all right." And now she's pissed.
Right.
We all good for
you know,
that question. We all good for that one.
Right. I think she answered the question for all of us.
So it's just really using wisdom. Like, what is the outcome? What's the outcome of it? Are you just really venting just to make this person look bad, make your significant other look bad, or are you venting just to get it off of you? And
Mhm.
a real person that you're venting to should really know that. You don't want to vent to somebody who is trying to kill him because he pissed you off.
Right.
But yeah, that's just me. I can't speak for the rest of it.
And the tricky part even about that is, because you and that person can easily make up. So once they do that, it's like that relationship may be damaged, maybe ruined.
Mhm.
Yep. Yep.
Okay, that was good. Do you guys all agree with what Joe just said, or you guys add? Anybody want to add to it?
No, I totally
No,
agree
I
with
totally
that.
agree.
I mean, I don't even think, even if I was dating somebody, I would even publicly say anything, period. Like, is it necessary? Let me ask that. Do you think it's necessary? Does it
That's a
make
good question. Do you think it's necessary for us to tell?
Are you talking to me?
yes?
Yes.
Uh, no, no. See, I mean, I think certain people have a perspective. Me, I would say no. I'm the type of person that I literally cry out to God and get it all out, and then I'm good to go afterwards. So I'm not really somebody that like share my business with people like that.
Amen.
Yes.
Speaking through experience.
Amen.
Come on,
you
mother. Come
you
on,
do
mother.
Right.
need you do need even if it's just one, you do need somebody to talk to. You do need somebody to vent to. It may not have to be it may not have to be your best friend, your circle, a family
Mhm.
member, even if it's a therapist or somebody, you do need somebody that you can vent and get that out to, because keeping it in and holding it in is not healthy. And then you also need somebody to be like, I understand. I've been through that. I can relate, because then once you get somebody to that can relate to you, then you can hear what they did. You can hear their testimony, and then it's not as heavy to carry. Be like, okay, so they went through it and this is what they did. Okay, so it's something that I can get through. We go, me and my guy, we're going through this, but they got through it. So maybe this isn't, maybe I'm looking at this too bad, too big. Maybe it's not that big of a deal. We can get through this. Somebody to encourage you to keep pushing on, because that stuff is heavy to sit there and carry. When I was married, he didn't want me to tell nobody nothing, and I was keeping that stuff to myself, but that almost killed me trying to hold that in. You can't hold that into yourself. And I would cry and pray and all that kind of stuff, but you still have to, you have to let that out. You really do.
I think that raises a good thing or question. I think it's more or less than just having a person, but accountable person.
Yes.
You need just that one accountable person, that friend,
Mhm.
that advisor, whoever that may be, to help you guide you, um, to hold you accountable, to stay committed to the word of the Lord.
That's
Hallelujah.
right.
Yep.
But even if you fall, hallelujah, he is still gracious.
Yes, he is.
He'll still be there for you. You're
Mhm.
right. And just as you journey through, and taking your time, enjoying the moments of the process of the dating and so forth that may come about. But that raises a question. Do you think it's appropriate to tell your pastor who watches over your soul? Do you think like that they need to know?
Depends on the pastor.
Oh, depend. Well, wait. Do they need to know? Are you just dating?
Dating, talking,
Depends.
thinking about somebody?
How serious are you dating? Because
It depends. Yeah.
it
Are
depends.
you
Now,
thinking
if I'm
about getting
dating,
married?
if there's a purpose
Because
behind
to
my
be honest,
dating,
a lot of guys have a problem with that. A lot of guys. So I'm asking Prescott, not
So,
y'all.
okay, let's not answer.
okay, okay. So that's such a hard question. So let me give context real quick. So I feel like when it comes to like dating or whatever, it's not everybody, but I think people can prey on information they already know and then tie God into it and can really mess up some things. I feel like, what God has for you, you don't really have to tell a person always. I feel like they're gonna kind of bring it up to you and it's gonna be in alignment with what God told you. Um, and I feel like if it's somebody that you could trust or study and show themselves approve and God is in it, there's no problem with it. But the problem I have with what I experience and what I've seen people do is I've seen people tell somebody something and then 2 days later somebody go, "Oh, I had a dream. No, now I magically had this, or now God told me."
No husband, yeah.
But it was based off of what you told them or what they heard, and now they use God to mess up stuff that was never God in the first place.
Fact.
Mhm.
Don't start
That's
that prophet line. Don't
yeah,
start
that's
the
But,
prophet.
but also, it's also used sometimes. I hate to say it, but us women sometimes go to our pastor in the way of manipulation to get what we want from them.
That's
Wow.
true. That's so
yeah,
true. That's
yeah.
good. That's
Wow.
good. That's
Yeah.
good.
You
That's
know,
a different story. But that's good. That's good.
Liz, you almost had me shed a tear right there. Almost
I'm dead. But
went back down memory lane.
it's true. It's so
That seat
true.
was kind of hot when I was in it. Now,
But it's so true. We as women, we try to fix things instead
Yes.
of allowing God to take his course and thinking man can do it, thinking man can fix it, and
Mm.
persuade people to stay with us when maybe God is trying to get you out of something that you
Mm.
shouldn't be in anymore. And I
Hmm.
think we have to take accountability to that. And shout out to the new life coach. Okay, she said you may need a life coach.
That's
Well,
right.
y'all got to shout her out, Miss Gina Foster. Okay, follow her. If
Gina.
you need a life coach, get with her.
Congratulations.
She taking clients.
All right now.
so what's good about even what you're saying? I feel like even in these situations, we got to really look at ourselves, even to make that call, like in the sense of like who we are as people, and like for instance, like I look at you guys, I see strong, dominant people in different ways, smooth ways, meekness ways, strong, aggressive, I like all the above. My next question is, do your guys' friend hold you accountable? Because there are a lot of people who is like popular or who's the one that people look to for wisdom and counsel, that it's hard for your friends to even give you guys advice, or you literally can be wrong and you can say, girl, I can't believe he did this and this and that, because he know he wrong for doing that. There's a lot of people that can't even get past or even process what you just said, because they kind of just flow with what just came out of your mouth. So do you guys have friends that hold you just accountable and would tell you that you're wrong and really would just dig in deep? Because I think those things are important, and I feel like a lot of people really don't have those things. Like, so do they hold you accountable? Do they kiss up to you, or do you think they misguide you?
I'm gonna say it first because this comment right here,
Which one?
she be the one, okay? She be that one, okay? Right there. That's right there, okay? She hold me, she'll tell me, and she don't sugarcoat nothing. But she does it in love, and I appreciate her for that. I tell her that a lot. I appreciate her for even in my wrong, for for wanting to tell me. You know, sometimes we will just let people fall and watch them and point and talk about them. But when you have a true friend, a true sister, they're gonna tell you when you're wrong, when you need to get it together, when you in something you shouldn't be, and help you to see it for yourself. So yeah, I definitely agree that you do need that accountable person.
Yeah.
I I'm Facebook friends with all of you, so I just posted that we had ladies' night the other night. And everybody,
Amazing group.
yeah, we we definitely hold each other accountable.
Listen, powerful.
We definitely hold each other accountable. There's one person who's just straight blunt and let you know, your stuff stank. And then there's, another person who comes as, mama, mama of the group. And then, then there's another person who's just kind of, well, if I were you, I would handle it like this, or it's just depends on the situation, and you don't always have to say it so bluntly, or there's different ways how we hold each other accountable, and that also goes back to what I was saying, like everybody, you can't tell everybody everything, so one person might pull you to the side and be like, "Girl, listen, you tripping,"
That's
so
real.
or they be like, or they might put you to the side, be like, I don't agree with what they saying. You should do. You need to get yourself together.
Mhm.
But that's part of a core solid group, or someone who truly loves you, because we want to see you succeed. We want to see you fail. We don't like to see you down and out. And we're here to support you. We got your back. And yeah, you got to have that those
You
friendships.
definitely got to have that.
Yeah.
I do have that in my life. I have several. I have a nice circle of friends, and so, yep, they hold me accountable for everything, especially when I'm trying to fall off the ledge. They got to will me back in from time to time. So it's very important to have those good, solid friends. Even in this dating game, you got to have it, because they telling you where you messed up at, where you need to shut up and sit back at. They got to bring you back to reality.
Hmm.
Sit down, come back, come back. So you have to you have to have those friends. You got to have someone who's holding you accountable, and like you said, someone you trust. And they're not a true friend if they're not letting you know what you're doing wrong. So yeah.
That's real.
Hmm.
Okay, last question. The time went past real fast last time.
Oh man,
Right.
It's
we
having
was just getting started. Huh?
we can it's not enough time. This needs to be part one, but we'll let the fans, be take control of that.
Exactly. We'll let the fans decide if we need part two.
Right.
But my last question, I want to ask you guys, what matters what most to you? And if you guys are in the comments, if you guys want to put it, then that's fine. But in what order would you say looks, finance, faith, loving, and character? Looks, finance, faith, loving, and character. In what order would you rate these things, and would you put these things?
I'm gonna say character.
And
What
somebody
was
put
it?
it in the comments so we can make sure that we're like keeping track of like, or we can see. They won't let me put it in.
I'm gonna say character. What was it? Character,
Faith was
Faith,
one.
finance, looks, and loving.
character, loving, faith, finance, and then look. That's for me.
Okay.
Okay, those are the options.
And
I
you're
would,
ranking them.
We're not
um,
looking. Okay. That's okay.
I would say faith would be number one. Um, character would be number two. Loving, then looks, then finance.
Okay. Okay.
So I'm going to say faith is number one for me as well. Loving, character, finance, and looks.
Okay. Okay. Well, I just want to appreciate you guys for letting me come over and take over a little bit. I'm honored to be here. You
You
guys,
got to expound on that question. You can't just ask the question. We still got a couple minutes. Let's
okay,
talk about
okay,
this. What's
okay. Look,
the
last time it just cut out, so I'm trying to. You know, I don't want to come like the rapture. Then I'm going.
Oh, it's over.
No.
Let me know I got a little bit more time, Jesus. To get me
You know,
good.
made me pour my heart out. Now we can
Crickets.
talk about it.
Crickets.
Well, like for instance, like I asked this question because I feel like a long time ago, you know, I feel like there was a certain time when I was dating, and I feel like it was different people that was trying to talk to me, and I feel like they were strong in these areas and these attributes. And as a man that's trying to get married or trying to figure out what matters most, I couldn't understand which one um, should come first. You know, then the older I got, I really learned that you have to, find out what matters to you. You know what I'm saying? What means most to you. Like, like if you're a hard worker, make good money, like to some, finances won't really mean nothing to you. I feel like if you're struggling or whatever, like, and I'm saying that everybody struggle finances mean a lot, but I just hear certain people will put certain things in order and stuff like that. So it's just intriguing just to see what really matters to you. Because I remember like I had somebody that was strong in the church, evangelizing and stuff like that. Somebody that's strong as far as their career. Then somebody that was really nurturing, that was a loving mother and stuff like that, and then somebody that was beautiful, gorgeous. And I just remember I couldn't understand what should matter most to me. And as I got older, I was just like, okay, well, when you really got your stuff, I learned, I would say last 2 or 3 years that finances really don't phase me when I go get it. You know what I'm saying? Like that's not something that, you at this point you just really want peace. When you can really
Come
That
on.
all of that.
listen. I don't need you to bring nothing but teeth. Let's have some
All
teeth
of
now.
that.
That's,
Okay.
and so like, but back then I didn't understand, and it was so confusing. It was so frustrating, and it made me look really lost and just not really understanding like what was going on. But I truly did not know, and everybody had a different answer, which made it more confusing because I was expecting everybody to have the same answer. But then I got to realize that people are different. What works for you don't work for this person, so stuff like that. So that's why I ask the questions. I think it's important to really understand what matters to you most. So that way, when you date, you can like focus on these things and
Mm-hmm.
there, then to like look at things or not even having just in your mind or perspective. If that makes sense.
Yeah, and then it goes back to what I said a few minutes ago that when what's important to you at the age of 21 is not going to be important to you at the age of 41. Because faith was important to me back in the day. And although it's very important, I married someone with faith, but the character was jacked up. So, there's you don't want to marry somebody who's beating the living crap out of you,
That's true.
but believe in God.
That's true. But I think we all choose because of those experiences, choices, right?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
I
Right.
think, of course, we pick faith because we're like, okay, we can't go without faith. We've dipped and dabbled in the world, try to save
Right.
somebody. That didn't work. um, so, but then we definitely hit on character because it is the person's heart, the person
That's
who
right.
they are. I think
Yeah.
that matters the most. Like you said, Prescott, you want somebody that's going to bring peace. I don't want to be
Peace.
trying to fight and argue and deal with your issues from your past, your ex, and everybody else.
Man.
You know, um, we all have something. Let's be honest, but the question is, how much are we willing to handle?
There you go. That's the
Everybody has
question.
baggage.
I would, and
We have the capacity for that.
and I would just challenge you guys to really like know your list, because for me, like when I put my list together now, if I was to talk to somebody, like you focus on that list because you're easily able to really see that the person kind of falls in your category, in the sense of like you're gonna be looking for these things first, and this is going to just kind of flows, and it kind of makes the conversation go easier.
Wait, okay, so I don't agree with lists. Is that
You
wrong?
agree with who?
I don't agree with making a list. Is that
I
wrong?
don't. Not anymore. I don't eitI don't agree with the list
So
anymore.
when I say list, I'm
Okay,
talking about
go
like
again.
for instance, so in my list, right? Like I'm gonna go faith, character.
Oh, in this list. Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. I'm talking about just this list of the five
Okay,
things:
this
faith,
list. Okay.
character, looks, loving, finance. And it's mainly because I feel like I've dated beautiful women, but in a sense wasn't loyal to me, or just didn't understand that know how to pray. I remember I dated somebody one time, and they prayed. So one day I asked them, "Who are you praying to?" And they was like, "Well, I guess that's a good question. I guess I never thought about that." And I looked at her and I tapped her on the shoulder. I was like, you should know who you praying to, and because if you gonna pray for me, I need you to call out one name and one name only. But not only that,
Alex, spam.
as strong as I am, there's gonna be times where I need you to come lay them hands and just pray on me and just give me.
Well,
Right. Right.
So I feel like for me, I understand, like those things means nothing if a person, just their morals and just understanding, like if you're gonna raise kids, like different backgrounds and character and faith, so we gotta be on the same page. Like to some people, it's cute to be like, oh, I think a lot of people love projects. I think a lot of people can say, oh, this person not saved, don't worry, gotta do it, and they still whatever they are, but it was clear as day, So for me, like if I was to come into contact with a person and I was taking that perspective of somebody I'm trying to pursue, I'm thinking about these things that matter most to me in the sense of this list, because it makes the conversation more smooth and it helps me really navigate whether or not this person is worth somebody talking to.
okay, I love this list. Okay, we can do this list. We ain't making no other list. Okay.
This is for the people to take. For the people to take.
This
And
is great
the
list.
things on that list, the
Great.
things on that list can be worked on, except for the look. I mean, well, the looks can be worked on too, but that'll be artificial. But
But
Well, no, wait.
should be worked on.
I don't know if they're going to be artificial either, because looks does not just depends on like just how you look. It depends on your appearance too, because
yeah, that's
how
true.
you dress makes an individual look really good.
That's
You know what I
true.
mean?
That's
Even
true.
your haircut makes you look good. So it's just not about the looks; it's about the whole package, right?
Yeah, that's
That
true.
comes
That's
together.
true.
So all of those qualities are great qualities to have, because that's what that list can fit just one person.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
They can be at different levels, but they fit one person, and that one person will be just for you when it's your time, right? So when it's your time, all those attributes will be right there from that list, like you just said, Prescott. So I love the list. I think that sometimes when we pick and the things are not on the list, yeah, we have to back away. We got to give them a little grace or whatever. And then we also have to think about their maturity level. Where are they in life, and what they stand for and what they're looking for? And are they mentally prepared to date someone of my stature? Because if I'm a praying person, and I'm in leadership, and I'm in, some people, they be acting right. They act. People go to church just for a routine. So let me just say this: it's not about it's not about not having faith. Let me say, if I have faith, that doesn't mean that I walk my faith, right? That doesn't mean that I'm walking a righteous walk. That just means that I believe. And remember, there's levels of faith.
Yes.
So I can be down here, you can be up here. So don't count that. Don't diswaver that faith at the top of your list neither, because you never know where that faith is going. You just never know. And so it's important that we pay attention to, like Prescott, we pay attention to each individual that we're dating, to their pattern, that consistency, that love, that understanding.
Like I said, I like this list, the values.
Yes, the values. The values is number one. We got core values. There's core values and everything, right?
Yes.
So
even if a person say faith, ask them who do they have faith in.
There you go. Come on now.
I'm gonna be real. In ministry, a lot of people have faith in me, and as soon as we stop talking, they stop going to church. People would tie what they believe in God based off of what you do for them.
Yeah, that's right.
Do something nice, God is good. You on any nerves? I don't want to go to church. You don't believe in God. You believe in me.
Right. There you go.
I can tell y'all right now, I ain't got nothing and no more time to be Jesus to God to anybody else. Go get them for yourself.
Get them, come on.
You might end up somewhere dealing with me. So I need you to. I need you to.
Do not idolize him, okay?
Okay.
Prescott, you just said a whole mouthful. Stop playing. Like,
that's good, sir. That's good.
I feel like it's like offering time or altar call or something. Like
the whole word in itself, right?
Let me say one more.
Hey, listen here. Who are you? Come on now. I love it. Who are you praying to? What you say? No, I'm not your God. Don't praise me.
Right.
Don't go to church for me. Please don't, because you're gonna be in a world hurt. Because I'm gonna leave you right there, standing there. Because don't follow up behind me. Please.
You're gonna be all jacked up following me.
But I think even y'all in y'all positions have to be aware of that, because when you have a heart for people, it takes a lot out of you. And people will really try to put the reason why they ain't coming on you, and next you know, you second guessing yourself, you second guess this. So like, it's important for you to know who that person, for them to know who they serving, but also for you to understand like it's not your fault. Like they have to go get it for themselves. If they didn't get it, cool. But their heart was in the wrong place. So because people will really try to make a person feel bad and make it feel like you pushed them away from church. Like you got to focus on yourself, and you got to understand that God is still faithful no matter what.
Yes. Yep.
I totally agree.
There you have it. Bishop Prescott has given us the word for tonight.
Come on now.
We hope that you have enjoyed this great bonus episode. Prescott, thank you for being our special host tonight. For taking over. You did amazing as always.
Yes.
Let us know in the comments if you would like to do another part 2. We can do another one in the quarter and see where that goes. We can talk
about questions.
And apparently
you sure do got questions.
I got some more questions, so let me know now.
So let's do it. But you all have a great night. We will be back here actually next Monday. Since this was a bonus episode, we're going to still stick on our schedule. So we will be here on the first Monday, which is April 6th. And we are going to get into the relationships about mothers. So just like mom is our topic next week.
Yes.
So look forward to that conversation on next time with Tea Time with Liz and Friends. We'll see you all next time.
Good night.